Hey, I'm Grant, and welcome to the State of the Channel for June 12th. So, first off, I should mention I've had quite the week. I actually go talk about it over on the podcast I have running right now, but that definitely got in the way of getting everything I wanted to done. So, this Wednesday, I'm hoping to cram together a couple different projects. One is I want to put out at least one more final episode of Dead Rising Chop to Drop. But right now, that's not my biggest priority, because really it's just kind of these little scraps I'm trying to pull together. As for what game I'm wanting to do after that, I picked up a copy of the Resident Evil 4 remaster, which is a game I've always wanted to play, because I love Silent Hill. I played it back on like a PS1 emulator. And I really love survival horror. It's one reason I started playing Dead Rising. And I figured that'd be a really nice little niche to make it so that it's a game I can have fun with. It's really intense, fun to play, and I enjoy it. So that's probably going to be what's going to be coming up next. Now, the goal for that is one thing I set out when I originally started Dead Rising Chop to Drop was I need to be able to make the series consistent. And one thing that I failed on with Dead Rising Chop to Drop is I wasn't making enough at once. Basically, I kind of got in this issue where I could only make one a week, because I was constantly like, oh, I need this to go out tomorrow, so instead of, say, filming 3 at once and then editing it all together really efficiently, I need to get one out and pushed to YouTube. And that made it very hard to fit everything in. So basically my goal is with this Resident Evil 4 is I'm going to try longer recording sessions and chopping it up in between, which is going to take a little bit of work on how I can do that to make it interesting, but I'm hoping that will let me kind of work ahead, where it's like, okay, instead of every week I'm producing one of each little series I have, I'd like to get to the point where I do State of the Channel every week, but say this will be my Resident Evil 4 week, where I make 5 videos and I just queue them up for the month, and then next week might be my like heavy podcast editing week, stuff like that. Because that's something that is a lot more consistent in the long run, but I need to get on that track. So, on that note, podcast is coming out every Friday. I'm working out a couple issues on my end. Like, you'll notice that I think actually this second test episode came out Saturday at like 10. And that's because as part of my process, and just for the sake of other people on the podcast, what I would do is I'd make an edit, and once I have a pretty good, solid product, I would push it to YouTube. And I'd be like, hey guys, here it is. Is there anything you want me to change or cut or adjust, or does it sound okay? Can you like look through it? Because it's really easy as an editor that once you spend like 8 hours staring at a product, you can't really have the perspective you need to tell if it's good or not. Like, I've had projects before where I'm just trying to make a like 1 minute joke video, and after staring at this for like an hour, after like writing, recording, editing, and like re-editing it and looking at it, it's like, I don't know if this joke's funny anymore. So anyway, I did that, pushed out, people looked at it, like worked really well. So Friday came, or rather Thursday night, I pushed it, and I'm like, oh, awesome, and I went to work the next day, it's uploading. Turns out, since it was a duplicate upload, because I didn't change anything from like that little demo thing I sent out to everyone, YouTube's like, no, blocked it, because it's completely the exact same file. What are you doing? It's, well, shoot, I can't fix that on my phone, so I wasn't able to get it going again until next Saturday. So anyway, lesson learned, but this Friday, again, is going to be the goal for this podcast. And on that note, one of the things I do is, basically I guess this week is all about like trying to maintain multiple series at once. And as part of that is picking up habits in order to squeeze more and more time to edit without it being soul crushing. And on that note, one thing I'd like to do again is stream. And you'll be seeing this on Wednesday, but I'm actually going to be streaming tonight, Sunday, hopefully with any spare time I have. And what it's going to do is basically I'm hoping to just anytime I play something, I want to stream it. And in a very honest way, is like normally I don't usually sit down and play a game. Usually I multitask. So with these new streams, they're not going to be anything that's too scheduled. It's just going to be literally like the way I play stuff. So it might be something like I'm really want to get the Seriously 4.0 achievement in Gears of War 4. Because I've loved Gears, but I've never got any of those achievements. Well, that's a huge grind. Well, realistically, what I do is I'll go play like Horde, which is like AI enemies versus a 5-person team, and between each wave there's like 30 seconds to a minute of just downtime. Well, basically what I do is on this screen over here, I just queue up Gears of War, and then on this screen I just edit the audio. Because basically what comes out of it is, instead of say basically an hour worth of Gears, I get an hour's worth of Gears and like 45 minutes of editing, which is nice because it's fun. I'm playing, I'm kind of more relaxed, but then I'm still like, kind of ticking away at this long, really annoying product that if I just sit, like, a video can take like anywhere from like 3 to 4 hours, or 3 to 4 times longer than the video itself to produce. Like for a podcast, you're looking at maybe 8 hours to like actually make it from start to finish. And if I had to just sit down and do that, I would just get way too distracted. It's very hard to focus that long, and this is like my solution. So I'm hoping to turn this streaming into kind of a nice little hangout. Like, okay, hey, I think still have a music license I got through Humble Bundle for 6 months of just like really nice licensed music that's higher quality than most royalty free stuff, but isn't necessarily like anything pop culture-y. So we'll see how it works. I have to figure that out. But I figured I can put that up. I'll have gears. I'll kind of be playing it on and off. And then I'll just be queuing up both like streams, like saying, hey, I'm just editing audio while I'm playing this, or I'm just going to make some thumbnails over here while I do this. And it's going to be less about the game and more about just this kind of idea of, oh, come hang out while I work on this stuff. Give me any feedback you want, or just have a chat. So that's my goal going forward, and it's going to take a couple tries, because like with, say, the podcast or, say, this Resident Evil thing, I kind of just have to keep kind of doing it, and I'll get a feel for like what days I want to binge it. Do I want to do like a little bit of everything each day, or do I want to say like, oh, it's Sunday, it's going to be just 8 hours of raw Resident Evil, and then I move on to something else? It's really something I can't say until I get started. So as always, you can follow me over on Twitter. I've been tweeting a lot about like these different like little food creations I've been doing. It's been a lot of fun. And if you want to follow me over on Twitch, you can do so over there. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you again next week.